No! Hello everybody on YouTube, it's your boy, the Memphis XL. Alright, welcome back to the 100 Days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where every day for 100 days, we're dealing with a different deck every single day. Today, everybody, is the beginning of the second half of the 100 Days of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's time for day 51, and we got an actual blast from the past for the day. We're taking a look at Airknight Parshath Beatdown, with some counter prayers on the side due to the whole synergy that the two kind of have with one another. But this is an interesting one because I double checked, because I knew I did a Parshath deck years ago, but I hadn't realized it was during the original 100 Days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Episode 2. That's how long it's been since we've done a Parshath deck. So I'm really happy to see this one. So we're going to be taking a look at the Parshath deck. We'll do the counter fairy thing, you know, to stall my opponent out, but ultimately we're trying to get out into Parshath and Neo Parshath and ultimately Sacred Arc, big old Parshath, and hit our opponent really hard. It's straightforward, our end game results, but you know, we're gonna also be annoying the heck out of our opponent with some trolling things. So it's a little bit of both worlds. So big old shout out to Mr. Cloranus Venner, who asked us today to take a look at the Airknight Parshath build. And so we're gonna be showing off this deck, showing off the wombos and the combos, the what do's and the what not do's, and having ourselves a good old time. So of course, as always, if you enjoy what we're doing, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe as well. Big shout out to everybody, because as of yesterday, we've hit 900 subscribers. We're actually at 902. So 98 subscribers to go. If we can, we're going to try and get that by the end of this 100 days. We'll see how it goes. But enough talking. Let's get into the action. Show off what this baby can do. Alrighty, everybody. Our first opponent. Another day and another card game. So this deck we do like to open up. It's kind of how counter fairies work. And let's see here. Well, I don't have the perfect hand, but we'll see where this is gonna go. I've got Melt TL. I've got my Time Terran Morganite. You know, we only played the one hand trap, and that's more of a little side tech. It's a little bit of a side tech. So I'm just gonna set a couple of cards, as our cards like to be done. We're just gonna set all these counter traps and see where it goes. Unfortunately, I didn't get my Parshath counter trap, which is like our main thing in this deck. You know, we play the Spring of the Parshath. We negate a card. We do have to discard a card, pay life points, all that, but it turbos out Parshath. Any of our Parshath variants, we can just turbo the darn thing out, and that's what I like to do. So we'll see what my opponents can do. I mean, I've got triple Solemns. I got every imaginable type of Solemn. I mean, granted, you have Harpie's Feather Duster, which is like my biggest weakness in this deck, but that's okay. I have Meltiel. You know, good old Meltiel is on the board, and that's really good for me. Because every time I play a counter trap, I'll gain 1,000 life points back. You know, it helps offset the whole cost of not having Ariadne on the board right now. So, what are we up for? Just good old Harpies. Okay. No. I can't allow you to start blowing up my back row. That's just not going to be something I can allow. Alright, so now that that's been... Ooh, hello. Hello. Oh, that's a tricky one. Yeah, I think this will work. Let's activate Toy to the Brethren. We're going to be paying a lot of life points right here, but that's okay. Because... I have no other option. I really don't want to do this, but I really don't have an option. Alright, but we are going to be summoning out some more of our monsters. We'll get Minerva and our Bountiful Artie. Artie being like the most important of all counter fairy cards. And let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty much what we have to do. There's nothing else I can do. Unfortunately, I don't have another counter trap. But I do have Bountiful Artemis. I got Minerva, and I got Meltiel. So I got my ultimate lineup of my main deck monsters other than, like, Parshath itself. But this ought to work, because since I have Morganite going, that'll give me exactly what I want. So we'll set our Rebirth of Parshath. And we'll see where that's going to go. Because now I got to keep Solemn in my hand. So let's go ahead and start attacking my opponent's monsters and see what they got. Let's see what you got. What is this? Obviously it's a... Just had to be the one Harpie lady that's stronger than Meltiel. Dang, you know how often Meltio gets to beat over things? Not often. But that's okay. You know, let's start laying into our opponent. We'll see where that's going to go. And it's really just going to be a matter of what exactly he can summon. That's going to be the big one. Because Rebirth Parshath is a pretty nice counter trap. You're going to negate spells, traps, and monsters. But the thing is, because he has Harpie's Hunting Ground, anything he summons, he's just going to pop my cards. Which is not great for me. But we'll see. I do have some bit of an extra deck, so I can work around this. I would just really want to summon Parshath. That was kind of what I was going for. But this is kind of like a... not quite a kryptonite situation, but my opponent does have things that are not great for me. Let's see here. Yeah, gonna have to dip into that extra deck as much as I don't want to. Just gonna, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, Parshath, he's coming. Trust me, that's what Morganite's all about. Just getting me more cards into my hand, getting me closer to Parshath. I can't use any of my Solemns at the moment. Well, that's okay. Because at this point, I got Double A Zeus. I'll just put him in the extra monster zone. I don't think it really matters that much. And we'll... let's do something snarky here. I think it's a good time to do something snarky here. Look, we're going to set our face down. You know, our ties to the brethren, we don't need it. That way it'll prompt my opponent to, like, do stuff. My idea being that if I can force him to do stuff, he'll waste more of his cards so that when I go in for Double A Zeus, we'll be all good. And then hopefully next turn I draw into, like, Parshath and I can trip it off Zeus. I don't want Zeus on the board. I want Parshath on the board. That's what we want. That is what I want. I want to see Parshath. You know, if I just started out with my spring, I could have gotten Parshath by now. That's the sad thing. That is the thing. But that's why we play like the Morganite. That's why we do that sort of thing, is so we can facilitate. But let's go ahead and use Double A Zeus's effect here, just to put another material on himself. Not that it really matters what I get, but let's just put our other Ties of the Brethren on. Because why the heck not? Alright, you're going to summon out another Harpie. Which Harpie are you summoning? Is it going to be the Performer? But this is what I was hoping for. He's going to destroy his own Harpie's Hunting Ground. That was kind of my hope and kind of what I was going for. So I'm happy with that. Let's see. This will get you your Elegant Egotist. Yep. Or your Harpie's Feather Rest. I mean, either way. Either way, I guess. Yeah, then you're gonna go for your Cyber Slayish Harpie Lady. I guess now is a good enough time. Let's just go ahead and use one use of our Double A Zeus. Because I have 2 uses right now, so it's no problem using this. Because this way he won't be able to just, like, bounce me. I've played myself Harpies. I have played many a Harpie deck. I know how Cyber Slash Lady works. I know how she do. Alright, so now it's our turn again. Come on, Parshath. That's not quite Parshath. But this does add a monster that mentions it. So that's a start. I swear if you ash me again. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. So let's go ahead and search out Neo Parshath, the Sky Paladin. Which I can't summon just yet. I don't have enough monsters, but it's a start. It's always a good start. So let's set Solemn, in case I need it. And, you know, we're getting very close to Parshath. Listen, that's the whole point of this deck. I know the counter fairies are a thing, but you have to understand, you know, a lot of them focus around, like, Parshath and Parshathy things, and, you know, a lot of our counter fairy monsters work around the Sanctuary in the Sky, so there's that synergy. You know, there's that synergy, you gotta exploit it, you know. I wanted to straight up do nothing but Parshath, but my opponent surrenders. We got close. We got close, but you get an idea of what this deck is at least kind of trying to get at. You know, it's counter phrase at its core. We're just setting up all of our monsters, plussing off of our counter traps being played, and we get into Parshath. You know, it might take a minute or two, but I have Sky Paladin in my hand, and that's what we want to do. So let's go for duel number 2. Really get into what this deck is trying to do and get Parshath on the board. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. Well, this time I want to see Parshath on the board. And looks like we might be... Oh, no, we're actually going to go first. Okay. Wasn't expecting to go first, but okay. Let's go ahead and set our 2 counter traps, and we will end our turn right there. That's all we really need to do. I mean, I've got my Rebirth of Parshath. I have a counter trap in the hand so I can play this. And so, I'm going to right away... interesting. That's what one would expect. Alright, Rebirth of Parshath. So yeah, this is going to reveal one of our counter traps. We have to discard a card for this, pay some life points. It's a bit of a cost on Rebirth, but it does turbo out whoever I'd like. Let's see. Summon out the big one, because it's really big. Sacred Airknight Parshath has piercing damage. If it does damage, I can add a Parshath or any counter trap I'd like from my deck to the hand. It is really like the ultimate evolution of Parshath, if you'll think about it. So, yeah, this is Invoked, you say? Fascinating. Fascinating indeed. Alright. Let me double check how this thing... Activation of cards and effects include an effect that fusion some of the fusion monsters can make on game opponent. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. Alright, I think I negate the summon of what's-your-face, Alistair. Because I can't negate the fusion spell, but I can negate you summoning this thing. And I'd rather you not summon that if I can help it. If you don't mind. If you don't mind. Alright. Ooh, Meltiel. Cool. I really want to do that. But I can't. I can't do that. Not right now, anyway. So I'm just going to battle phase. I could summon Meltiel, but let's just hold on to Meltiel for now. Let's attack with our Sacred Airknight. Do some damage. Unless this guy has something to say about that. But I don't think they do. So let's go for our Sacred Parshath. And this will add me another card. So, what card do I get? I guess another Solemn Johnson. You can't really go wrong with Solemn Johnson. You know, he's just gonna solemnly Johnson. And let's go ahead and summon that Meltiel now. Really nice card, Meltiel. You know, you activate a counter trap. After it resolves, you get 1,000 life points. It's pretty dang neat. It just helps offset the cost of, like, Solemns and things. Especially if you don't have Ariadne, for whatever reason. Alright, so, yeah, he's Alistair. He's invoking, or at least attempting to invoke. But I know enough about how Invoked work. And my opponent surrenders. Okay, these are going to be quick. The first duel is probably a little longer, but this one is a lot shorter. So, there you go. We've gotten out Parshath. Again, this is what we want to do. We have shown off successfully what our deck is trying to do. We got Parshath on the board. So, let's go over duel number 3. We'll attempt to summon out the other Parshaths. Like, we got the OG, we got the Neo Parshath. We've gotten out the big old monster. But let's go for the other 2. Let's go for duel number 3. Alrighty, everybody. It's time for our third opponent. Now, fighting third. Let's go ahead and fight for our right to open paper. How dare you betray me, paper? It's not what I want at all. I mean, granted, our opening hand's not great, but I got 2 Parshaths out of 3, so I'll take it. So, what on earth am I up against? Pot of Extravagance? Pot of... What the heck is my... I saw some weird... What? Eben's Son. I've heard of this card before. Basic monsters provide battle card effect. Gain life with their attacks. A monster special summon from the grave. Spell trap is discarded. Target a card end of hand. Okay, this is something weird. Well, this is something weird, 110%. But we do have Ariadne, so let's go ahead and activate that, just to have that on the board. See if my opponent's got stuff. What? Every time a monster effect is activated, level 6 I had a special... What the heck? Okay, I don't know what this is. It's something... I knew this would be something weird. Okay, what does this do? Monster effect activate, place a spellstone counter. Well, this card has 2 counters. Need to play an activate place for monsters. This card... Wait, this card has any spell counters. Okay. Fascinating. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, so... This is some sort of lockdown deck of some variation. I don't know what kind, but it's something. So we'll see where this is gonna go, I guess. I'm not just gonna willy-nilly negate things, because I have no idea what this is. But I have all the Solemns in the world, so... Oh, it's Magispectors. I should have known. I should have known. Alright, we'll just solemnly warning that. I don't trust this thing. Oh! Ariadne! Oh no! I kind of wanted that to live. I mean, it's not like a big deal if it doesn't, but at the same time, I'm not a big fan of that. All right. So I think the stone activates, right? No, that's a spell activate. Never mind. All right. So this is Magispectors, I guess. I have a feeling this isn't Magispectors per se, but we will use Guiding Ariadne. Ah, the True King's return, you say? Let me think. What does this do again? But it's a card fight where you control the tribute summon. Okay. That's actually fine if he revives this thing. That's actually not a bad thing. But let's go ahead and search out Rebirth of Parshath, considering that's like the whole point of this deck. So why not? Why the heck not? Alright, so you're going to get the Power Sink Stone. It's a stone of power sinking. And let's go ahead. I do not trust your monster. Because while it doesn't have its abilities no more, I still don't trust it. That's just how it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and ditch ourselves an Intis. Because that way I can just, you know, do Intis's thing, pop True King's Return. Keep them monsters gonski. Alright, so this will keep a counter. Okay, that's... it's not great. But I do have all three. All three, baby. All three Parshaths are in the hand. That's just funny to me. I don't know why. It just tickles me. Tickles me fancy. Alright, so what is my opponent going to do now? Because now we more or less know what he's trying to do. He's just trying to, like, be annoying. Which, to be fair, is kind of what I'm trying to do. But I do it with more flair and style. So, level 6 or higher spells show summon monsters cannot declare attacks or activate their effects. Okay. I mean, that does affect me a bit with, like, my Parshaths, but... if need be, I can just tribute some of them. So what is this doing? Let's see. During the main phase, banish a card from hand or the grave. Shuffle a banished card into the deck. I don't think I need to worry about that, but I could be definitely wrong. Uh-huh. So you're going to banish a card and then recover a card. Cool. Very cool. Okay. Have fun with that, I guess. I'm just waiting for this guy to, like, drop Uriah on me at this point. I wouldn't put it past him. Is he going to? Probably not, but you never know. Alright. Banishing another card. Getting back another card. Cool. I mean, I guess that's going to be part of this guy's strategy, just banishing cards and getting them back. Alright. Cool. Oh, hey. Finally got something I can use. Here we go. Let's activate the Sacred Waters of the Sky. This way I can get... which do I want to get is a good question. No. It doesn't really matter. Without my Sanctuary of Parshath to give him, like, all the effects, who do I want to get? I guess we'll get Meltiel in this situation. Minerva is really better when we have the Sanctuary on the board. So I'll get Meltiel, because that way when I play my counter traps, I'll, like, you know, get some plus back to it. So we'll summon out Ye Olden Meltiel. I will not solemn myself, thank you. Tempting, but no, I will not do that. Let's just attack this dude. Let's attack this dude in his embodiment of a poopus. Alright, Rebirth of Parshath. Reveal Parshath. And we'll ditch Sacred Knight, because this can be summoned from the grave if I really needed to. But yeah, we'll stop a poopus. Summon out our original, well, I could summon the big ones, but I don't really want to summon the big ones, but no. Unfortunately, because he has the grave, I can't really make use of that. Let's see here. Let's see. Activated a counter trap. Banish 2 fairies. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, Parshath. It's not your time. Not your time. We're going to have to do somebody else. We're going to have to do the other Parshaths. Thank you. Alright, so Parshath the OG will attack. Every time I do damage, I get to draw another card, which is very nice. And hey, I drew Artie, which is even nicer. So yeah, we'll just attack into our opponent and do what we want to do. So, like I said, it's pretty straightforward when you get down to it with this deck. I just really want to summon out Neo Parshath, but it's like a terrible idea at this point. I mean, he already knows I have this, so I'll just set it anyway. We'll end our turn, see where this goes. We'll see. We shall see indeed. Because, yeah, every turn he will get the DD post thing. He will get cards back. But they're going back to his deck, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. It could be a lot worse. Let me put it that way. It could be a lot worse. Oh no, we tributed the trap. That's not great. So I guess I'll just solemn that. I'm not allowing you to keep monsters on the board if I can help it. I mean, granted, he's gonna pop Parshath, which I don't appreciate. Let's see. I really want to do like Sacred Parshath. Let's see. But again, I can't attack or use their effect. But hold on. I'm going to use Sacred Parshath. So the Monster Zone one, and oh yeah, and Tis is a fairy. I always forget that part. Okay, that'll work. Now DD Post will do its thing. Yeah, it'll still do its thing. You're gonna banish a card, get a banished card back to the deck. Yep, as you do. But I'll summon out this dude who can't do anything. That's true, but you don't get the satisfaction of popping my cards. And I keep a tribute summon on the board, so that's good. I'll take it. Alrighty. Exactly where we want it to be. Alright, let's go ahead and summon out Parshath once more. See, it would have been really nice if this guy just wasn't playing this trap card. Because then I could have gotten out, like, the original, like, synchro that Parshath has. Which can also just become massively huge and all that good stuff. But it's okay. Let's go ahead and activate our Sacred Waters in the Sky. Once again, just searching out monsters so I can deck thin and all the good stuff. Surprisingly, we haven't seen... I haven't seen my Time Turn Morganite, but that's okay. It's not, like, necessary or anything. And this guy's on his last leg at this point. Like, this DD Post is certainly letting him keep his cards, and I can't disrespect it. But at the same time, it's way too slow. It's way too slow, because he kept putting cards back in the deck. Now, if he was banishing cards that like to be banished, this card would be really, really, really good. But it doesn't. So, I don't know. That's just how it is. So, let's go ahead and end our turn. We'll see where this is going to go. Like I said, I have a really good setup here. I mean, he's got this Sing Stone. If my deck was, like, really fast with monster effects, this would be really powerful. Like, this would be annihilating me right now. But my deck is slow enough at this rate that this doesn't affect me hardly at all. That kind of affects me a little bit. Let's see. Destroy a card and add a true Draco. Indeed, you can. And you destroyed your spare Think Stone. However, you will have to tribute one of these, or just add the true cube card. That, too. Alright, can I draw a counter trap? I would appreciate it greatly. Unironically, I would appreciate that. Okay. Getting back more cards. Indeed, you do. Actually, do you even have... Oh, yeah, you have one guy back. I was like, do you even have a true Draco left? But, yeah, he kept one. Aw. I was actually low-key hoping to draw anything else. Okay, that's neither here nor there. Let me think. I guess I can still, like, use my links and things. Yeah. So let's activate our Time Turn Morganite here. He does have the True King's Return. What does this guy even do? I don't even know what he does. He was on the field for such a short amount of time. I guess he is just bigger than I am. That's true. Let's see. In this face-up tribute summon monster. Okay, he doesn't do anything, really. He really doesn't do anything because he's not tribute summoned. Alright. So let's summon out Minerva. I guess the meanest thing in the world would be to just drop Baguska and wipe his board, wouldn't it? Let's see. This card is destroyed. Yeah, as much as I want to, like, respect my opponent and all that good stuff, I think this is the best possible outcome we could have. So let's just battle phase here, and we'll drop a double A Zeus on this guy. Which is not how I wanted to win. I wanted to make, like, giant Parshath. But, you know, maybe we can do, like, one more duel after this. I mean, I don't mind it, so I would like to do it one more time just to try to get Super Parshath on the board. So what are you doing? You have something? I guess you have the post. But unfortunately for you, sir, the paper is out. It's time for you to go. You know, you put up a good fight with all your floodgates and things, but Zeus just says no. All right, one more use of the DD post. Okay. Understandable. Understandable, but yeah, everything's going to leave the board now. So now what can you do? I mean, you'll destroy Zeus. I don't really care. Zeus did his job. So I'll summon out my Bountiful Artie, and we'll end our turn there. So what can this dude possibly draw into? I don't think there is anything. Yeah, there isn't anything. So there you go for duel number 3, folks. Let's go ahead for one more. You know, I know we've done essentially what this deck is trying to do. We've summoned out Parshath. We've summoned it out. We've summoned out all... No, I haven't summoned out Neo yet. I should at least attempt to do that. So let's go for one more, yeah. Let's do one more duel. Try to get out Neo Parshath. And if I can get my Sanctuary on this field as well, that'd be really cool. Alrighty, everybody, our 4th and final duel of the day. The last chance at romance to get out the last few Parshath monsters. But ultimately, I will say this deck has done really well for what we're trying to do. I mean, we've gotten out Parshath. We've done what we want to do. So I'm just going to set a couple of cards for now. And, I mean, yeah, we'll do Time Terror Morning Night. That's what we do with this deck. So we'll see where it goes from there. I mean, we have a nice setup. I got Rebirth of Parshath. And you know what? I think we're going to go for the Synchro. We haven't gotten to see the Synchro yet. I mean, we've seen at least the idea of Neo Parshath. So we'll see where this is going to go. Let's see here. Yeah, let's rebirth. Like I said, this is what we do. We rebirth the Parshath. Go ahead and reveal, discard, pay life points, etc., etc. Negate Terror Top and put it back in the deck. And let's summon out the Synchro because why the heck not? Avenging Knight Parshath. Ooh, Ariadne. There you are. But yeah, we got this thing on the board. It can change battle positions. It does piercing damage, which is really all it does. That's probably the reason people don't remember Knight Parshath has like a synchro version, because it's kind of basic. It's really just a slightly different version of the original. It really is, but it's something. At least it keeps with the theme of piercing damage, although it doesn't like give me a draw or anything, but that's okay. So what is this guy doing? Adding a Speedy Roidy monster. Okay, so this is Speedy Roidies, which I already assumed because of Terror Top, but you know, it could have been something else. It could have been a Burning Abyss for all I know. Alright, but Marble Machine will search a card. What would you be searching? I'm trying to remember all the Speedroid combos, but it's hard because they're such a windy archetype. Is it going to be Takatomborg, perhaps? It will, in fact, be Takatomborgo. Okay. And that special summons itself? Indeed. I do have my Solemn Johnson, but I really need to save it for, like, something big. I need to save it for the biggest, most obnoxious card in the world. Which is something that, you know, Speedroids are wants to do. That's kind of what their whole shtick is. You know, they're a synchro climbing archetype. So yeah, you'll get your rubber band shooter. Well, that's cool. This way you can get the yo-yo and the other guy. And it really doesn't matter which one I pick, because one summons the other one. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You do that. I know your combos, at least to some degree. Yeah, Clear Wing, Synchro Dragon. Yeah, so you get the yo-yo, get the Terror Top. I think I want to hit, because you already did Terror Top. Okay, yeah, that was the right one, I think. Unless Terror Top is not once per turn, that I'm just forgetting. Although he does get to get a normal summon, so like I said, it doesn't really matter what I pick. But I'm pretty sure that hitting the yo-yo was the better option either way. This card is summoned at a Speedroid. Yeah, he already summoned this thing. Although I did negate, well, I negated its effect. So yeah, we're good. We're good. So this will summon out the red-eyed die. Yes. And that'll make his monster bigger. It'll make it level 3. Yeah, because he's gonna summon out the cork gun and do other combos and things. Like I said, this is what Speedroids do. They are a synchro climbing archetype. He is very low on time, So this Solemn Johnson might be the end of this duel when I play this finally. Because, you know, if I do this and he has almost no time left, my opponent is not going to be happy at all. All right, so now you're gonna summon out 6, 7. Yep, that'll make Dragon. That'll make, or Pegasus Ignister. That works too. Oh no. Oh no, I forgot I could do that. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. I should have solemned that. I should have solemned that. That is my bad. That's not good at all. Because now he's going to summon something. I got greedy. Although, I did not expect Stardust Warrior. Okay. You might want to end your turn there, buddy. I know you want a battle phase. You're going to at least attack somebody. Alright. Getting rid of Parshath is certainly not great, but it doesn't end the duel in any way. You might want to end your turn there. Okay, thank you. I don't want to win because my opponent timed out. That would not have felt good. Alright, so your opponent will special summon a monster. Remove this card to get the summon if you do destroy that monster. Okie dokie. Let me think about this. Go Typhon. Can you still negate the summon? You can. Okay. That is 100% totally fine. I am okay with this. Because I'll summon out Guiding Ariadne as I do. And, I'm just gonna battle phase. You know what? I'm just gonna battle phase, keep it simple here. We'll see where this is gonna go. Yeah, that was a really unfortunate thing. I got a little greedy there. I kind of overlooked the whole Pegasus has the ability to blow up back row thing. Banish a win from the grave. Target a card opponent controls to the hand during the main phase. Oh, okay. Alright. Let me think about this. Now, I guess technically speaking, I did conduct the battle phase, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I did. That's okay. I'll just summon out another Guardian Ariadne for now. We'll see where this is gonna go. Oh no, he does come back. I forgot. He comes back. That's not good. Let's see. Yeah, that might actually be game-ish. Hard to say. Your scales are atrocious. A 4 and an 8 in Speedroids? What were you thinking? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, because now he's gonna... Missing that Solemn, I think, might actually cost me this game. That is an unfortunate thing. Oh, but... I'm not quite out of it just yet. I still have life points. But I don't know if that's gonna matter. I mean, Ariadne will still get me a card, which is great. But that's gonna be happening after the fact. That's gonna happen after all of this. How many pendulums do you even... Wait. Okay, there we go. You have plenty of an extra deck left. Okay. Oh no, what does that do? It summons out more dragons. Yeah, I think... Yeah, we're definitely dead here. I mean, I'm happy we get to summon out another Parshath, but darn it, if I just solemned... I should have solemned the Pegasus. That was my bad. I totally earned this loss. This is an absolute loss on my part. But, you know, you gotta live with those. You know, sometimes you just kind of ignore that one little bit of text. The one that says, hey, this card blows up back row. And Solemn Johnson doesn't stop that sort of thing. He stops a lot of things, but not that. So let's go ahead for the end phase, or not the end phase, but the end screen here, because I'm basically cooked. There's nothing I can do to stop this. Alrighty, everybody. So Airknight Parshath of 2025. I actually went 3 out of 4 today, which is a lot better than I was expecting. I was thinking like 2 and 2. Or like two out of 3 or 1 out of 3 or something, depending on how like many duels we had. Because Parshath is a bit of an old card, but it's still a competent thing. I mean, it still does what it wants to do. It's just a matter of dealing damage, getting yourself more advantage. That's what Parshath's all about, and we got to do that fairly well today. We got to do like the counter fairy thing as well, but it all melds together, like I said, because Parshath has that little thing with like combining with counter fairy stuff. I don't know why, but it works. It works, and we were able to summon out like all the Parshaths for more or less. I mean, Neo didn't get to like do its whole thing, or anything. It really didn't get to do anything, unfortunately, Yugioh Parshath. So that was a bit of an unfortunate thing today, and also the loss, because that was entirely my own fault for being a greedy son of a gun. But can you blame me? I had the opportunity to stop a big old synchro. I just happened to... I happened to underestimate my opponents. That was all on me. So we got to do what this deck wants to do. We got to summon out all the cards. We got to do most of everything we wanted to do for it. So I'm happy with it. So if y'all enjoyed it, don't forget to smack the like button and consider subscribing, because you know what? We're less than 100 subs away from 1,000. And I still believe that we could get there before the end of this 100 days. So here's the deck profile for everyone who wanted to know what we were playing today. Let me know what you think of it, and if you know what you think about Parshath in general, and we'll then say what's going to be tomorrow. So for our main deck today, everybody, we have one of the Sacred Airknight Parshath, one copy of yugioh Parshath Sky Paladin, two of the OG Airknight Parshath, 3 copies of Guiding Ariadne, because this is basically at the end of the counter fairy deck, you have to play this thing, 2 copies of Minerva, so that I can recover my counter traps, 3 Bountiful Artemis, so I can draw off my counter traps, 2 copies of Meltiel, so I can recover life points and destroy stuff off my counter traps, 2 Spooky Dogwood. It's more of a flavor sort of thing, but you know what? If I play this before I go into Morganite, I can potentially gain a whole lot of life points. We got 3 copies of Morganite because we like to just get more draws and things, and other than Dogwood, we have no hand effects. 3 copies of Sacred Waters, because this can search out Minerva, search out Meltiel, searches out yugioh Parshath, and so it's a nice little card. It also protects us from battle, so that's a pretty good thing. 3 copies of Ties of the Brethren, because it's going to be used on any of our level 4 fairies to summon out 2 of the other ones that we want on the board. 2 copies of Sanctum of Parshath, gives all my monsters a little bit of a boost, protects my set cards, I can recover my set cards as well, and more importantly, it counts as Sanctuary, so it allows yugioh Parshath to do its massive beat sticking. 2 copies of Dogmatic Punishment, because we don't really summon out of the extract that much, so nice little thing we can use. 3 copies of Solemn Strike, because this is a counter fairy deck, you gotta have counter traps, so triple Solemn Strike, most common thing to be used in this game because it negates special summons and monster effects. Triple Solemn Judgment, because it negates pretty much anything except for, you know, being destroyed. But yeah, we played 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. 3 Rebirth of Parshath. This is the most important counter trap, because not only does it negate things, yes, it has a bit of a steep cost to doing so, but it negates cards and it summons out of Parshath from the deck, so that's a really good thing. 2 copies Solemn Warning as well, which, you know, because we had to focus on Rebirth, we're just playing a little less of this, but it works it too just as well. Extra deck is almost completely irrelevant. We just play like basic things, just Masquerade Little Knight, good old Celestial Knight Lord Parshath, which we also didn't get to see today, but that's okay. So we got this old link of ours. We got Bagooska if we ever needed the darn thing. Mostly things targeting for Dogmatic Punishment, like Mirological Aggregator. We have Typhon and Zeus if we happen to need the guys. We have Dawn Dragster and some other level 7s like my own Pegasus Ignister, my Black Rose Dragon, my Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. Kind of ironic I'm playing these cards, but you know that's what we have, because we do have a level 3 tuner. We also have 2 copies of Avenging Knight Parshath, not the best Parshath card, but it does the job either way. And then 2 Intis for, again, punishment. Now, as with the side deck text, if you want to focus more on like just bringing out Parshath, like instead of tribute summoning it or whatever have you may, there are things like Valhalla, which you can special summon fairy straight from the hand. If you do that, good old Hecatrice is your name of the game, as well as things like Electricity if you want to just like lock your opponent out of summoning in general. If you don't care about that as much, but you want more consistency, there's things like Pot of Extravagance. There's things like Rainbow Life, which is essentially just a trap version of Ghost Sister. Although, if your opponent just doesn't attack you or anything, then this card is completely irrelevant, so I prefer the Spooky Dogwood. And then there's Negate Attack, which is just a funny thing because it's a counter trap that negates battle phases, which I did some testing. It does not work with Artemis for some reason, but that's neither here nor there. So thank you everybody for watching today's episode, and for tomorrow, our sneak peek, we're playing a Red Eyes deck with the Claw of Heremos and a bunch of other stuff, including the Electric Virus. Ooh, scary. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow, everybody. So thank you very much for watching for today. Till next time, y'all stay safe and happy, and you have a wonderful day. Y'all take care. I'll see you tomorrow.